Hi again and welcome back. If I look the same, it's because I'm recording one after the other. So we are going to finish up May in Moinetta's diary. Let's get right into it. All right. How did you guys like the first part? It was pretty good. All right, let's see what else is in store for May because Moinetta is supposed to be going home. So I wonder if she's leaving by the end of May, and they've been doing a lot of running around and shopping and stuff. So we finished up on May 14th, and let us go to May 15th. All right, dull and showery all day. Burl sick with asthma. Aw. Sadie's stomach bad. Oh my goodness. Gertrude felt miserable. Oh my goodness, everybody's sick. What does that say? Nelsie had invited us to go. I'm not sure. But the girls didn't feel able to go. So at home we stayed. Hannah down in afternoon and stayed to supper. She went back to sisters early as they are going to Reading. So Hannah for sure is a child because they talk about her going down for the night or whatever, and this is in the afternoon, so they must be babysitting someone. All right, May 16th, fine. Pearl felt better, but she washed out both tubs and put something out of place in her hip. Oh, bone out of place in her hip. Oh my goodness, suffered all day. Oh goodness gracious. That's great. You know, when you're feeling ill and then like the next day you're like, all right, and then you pop a bone out of place. That feels great. Sadie, Gertrude, and I went to Melrose with the Cogswells. They took us to see the beautiful dogwood trees. Ooh. Sadie and Burl something. Sadie and Burl sewed. Mrs. Hopkins came down and stayed to tea and evening. She lent me a hat to use on rain. What? In evening, Mrs. Simpkins came in with Burl's clock he'd been cleaning, also her ring. I got strap on watch shortened as at Melrose for 50 cents. So I'm sure that is the watch that Frances gave her. She had to have the strap shortened. Very cool. May 17th, rainy. At noon, it looked better. Dr. Marcella coming in and put I can't explain what I thought. The doctor came in and put bone in Burl's hip back in place. She suffered all night. In evening, Gertrude went to church with the Vargas. We didn't go. I have never been to a chiropractor, but I am sure that after they manipulate you, you're probably sore and maybe feel relief the next day. I don't know. May 18th, dull but cleared away. Fine. Someone phoned. It starts with an N. It looks like Nalse. Nalse? Phoned that she was coming to take us out to eat and ride. She came about 11 a.m. and got us 4. We went to Danner's and had a lovely meal. We then went to Marblehead and all around Salem. Saw the doors with the beautiful brass on them and the beautiful in the beautiful homes. Chestnut Street. the finest in Salem. They went right on to Newton with Burl. Got home at 6:30 p.m. Ida had been there and left Sadie and me earrings. After supper, I packed my trunk and suitcase. Gertrude Sadie went over to Mrs. Cogswell to see television. Oh my goodness. So in the roundup, I'm going to be looking up this Marblehead, and she has this street. I'm so proud of her. Chestnut Street. So we're going to find out. Hopefully, is it still beautiful there? And it must be famous. It must have been famous for the brass doors. That's exciting. And Moinetta is packing her trunk, so she must be leaving tomorrow. So this was a Monday. So let's see what's going to happen the next day. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Moinetta, for giving us a little bit more detail. All right. Tuesday. Fine. Sadie and I got taxi, and we too, and trunk and suitcases, went to Melrose Station and got them checked as it closes at 2 p.m. Something changed. I can't read that. It looks like oily, but I'm sure it's not. Something charged $1.50. I gave each 25-cent tips. Oh. What were the red hats, right? I don't know. They brought us back for 50 cents, the two of us. Okay, so they went to the train station, had to take a taxi, dropped off all of their suitcases in her trunk, and left them there. And then the taxi brought them back. So for two of them, it cost 50 cents. 25 cents. I gave each 25-cent tips. Okay. All right, so we went over in Mommy and I'm not sure what that says. Bud? Mrs. Nudd, maybe to give them goodbyes. Gertrude made cookies. She gave us lunch for home. Ma went over and something neighbors goodbye. Bade neighbors goodbye. I have not read that word. Possibly ever. I've heard that word in movies and stuff, but never read it. That was odd. Mr. and Mrs. Corkum were in for a while before we left. The Cogswells took us to North Station and train. Left at 11. I believe Hannah joined us. Hannah joined us at station for home. Letter from Frances. Oh, Frances wrote a little letter for her. All right, so now the 20th. Fine. Arrived. Now, I thought at first it said Union. Hold on one second. I had to sneeze. I have very bad allergies right now. Anyway, I thought it said Union Station, but it does not. She crossed it out. It said North Station. Fine. Arrived. Mr. Adam at 10:30. I believe not. Something met by Ethel and taxi. Something and children were in. Mrs. Blank, she didn't write her name, was in too. I was very tired and went to bed early. Okay, so it sounds like it took them the night of the 19th and they got in on the 20th. 21st, fine. Ethel and Sadie went downtown in the morning. Is it Irma? And children were in. In afternoon, Ethel invited two ladies in for a cup of tea. Oh no, I fell off the step again. Oh, and then it says after that, we went to Nora's for dinner at night. Ira kept children while Nora went to doctor. Then got home something dark before dark, no, something cold. Ethel got letter from Archie from Africa. So she fell off the step again, and then they went to dinner. But then Nora went to doctor. Oh goodness, guys. Okay, May 22nd. I'm just thinking she didn't write there was anything wrong with her, so maybe Nora going to the doctor has nothing to do with her falling off the step. Dull. Then it rained. Oh, her writing is a little bit more difficult to read. I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay. Dull. Then it rained. Reg was in a minute. Ethel took us by taxis to train. Are they stopping off? I bet you that she's not at her home. Okay. So Ethel took us by taxis to train, got into St. John, 12 their time, 1 our time. Okay, so guys, maybe we know finally that she actually lives in a place called St. John. Fingers crossed, we'll see. Went down by CPR, nicer train. I've had lunch at the depot, then left at 1. Depot, something for Irma. Nearly 5 when we got home. Varma, Lab or Tab, and Earl met us, and Earl's brother, and Earl brought us all up, trunks and all. Attaboy, Earl. I stopped at Varma's and had supper. Fresh. Is shad a vegetable? Delicious. I think shad is a vegetable. Hey Google, is shad a vegetable?
On the website thespruceseeds.com, they say, like salmon, American shad is an anadromous species of fish, meaning it spends most of its time in saltwater but swims upriver in the spring to spawn in fresh and brackish waters.
I have never heard of, I heard of shad but didn't know what it was. Obviously, I just thought it was a vegetable. It's a fish? Wow. Okay, so they had shad for dinner, delicious. Then Varma gave me food and came over with me. I unpacked, went to bed, and had good rest. Mrs. Fraser gave us lunch. Mrs. H. something passed away. Ray got home before I got there. I wonder if Ray is her husband. Letter from Archie in Africa. Oh my goodness, how exciting. So she must live in St. John, right? Is that what you're gathering as well? Okay. And Ray got home before I got there. So unless it is a son, which we need to find out if Archie is her son. All right, May 23rd. Dull. In to see Sadie and down to store. Mrs. Hersman was in. Now I got to get used to all the people in this area because, you know, I got used to the names at the other place. The 24th. So wait a minute, before we go further, how long was she at Gertrude's? I think basically since January, right? Yeah. January, February, March, April, May. She was there almost 5 months. Wow. Okay, May 24th is a Sunday. Fine in the morning, turned cold and windy, began to rain late in the afternoon. I didn't go to church as I had cold, afraid I'd cough in church. Mrs. Fraser and Lillian went in morning. I had dinner at night at the Frasers. Good. Girlfriend, you didn't go to church because you thought you'd cough, and you have a cold, but you went to Mrs. Fraser's and spread that cough around. Okay. That was not her intention, obviously. I'm just being silly. But okay, I'm totally kidding. We have all accidentally shared a cold. Okay. May 25th. Fine. Everybody washed. In morning, I wrote to Burl, then went up to St. George Street and mailed it. Mrs. Fraser and I over to Mrs. Harold Hopper's funeral at 2 p.m. I went over to Varma's afterwards, had lunch. Varna returned my hat and pressed my veil. Oh, then I came home, got 4 cards and a letter. $2 from Varna. Now, she didn't put an N in it. Now it's a Vara, but I'm sure it's Varna. And Wilfred for birthday. Oh, do we know now that Varna... Wait a minute. What was the general... We found out... How did we find out? Oh my goodness. Remember I found out that exciting news about... What was it? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Do you know what I'm talking about? I found information that one of the girls lived a long time. I can't find it. Anyway, do you know what I'm talking about? So maybe this will enforce the fact that who she's married to, her husband. It looks like it says Wilfred. So she got $2 from Varna and Wilfred. Now we are going over to... I'm sure it's not Louisville. Limsville tonight. Lillian, Mrs. Fraser, and I went to Limsville to see the Royal Tour. Royal Tour. Good. Ooh, I had to find out. Was that a movie? Oh my goodness. She's giving us good stuff. Mr. Fred Aikman brought us home. It was after 10 p.m. Mrs. was in, had been to doctor. Wow. Oh, we have a lot of writing. All right, May 26th. It looks like Norma birthday, and a very fine one it was. Went over to Varma's and to supper, and a good one it was. Oh, that's wonderful. Had over... Oh, wait a minute. Aunt Vamer was over, and Roderick brought Ma home about 11. Maybe her mother-in-law? But Mr. and Mrs. Hold on. I'm so sorry. Mrs. Fraser was invited, but Mr. and Mrs. Fraser from Florida... Ma home at 11. Mrs. Fraser was invited, but Mr. and Mrs. Fraser from Florida and Mrs. Fraser were here to supper, so she could not go. And Phil came home sick. I wonder if it was her birthday. but it doesn't look like it. So I'm going to show you. It's going to say, whatever the name is, birthday. That doesn't look like Moinetta or my birthday. So, and the reason I say that is because it says, I got dress and watch from Francis, also $5. Stockings from Gertrude, stockings from Lillian, a red teapot from Mrs. Fraser, from the something $5, from Vera and Wilfred $2, from Phil, bouquet of roses. Is Phil her husband? Because remember, was it on this page? Phil had already gotten home, right? Before her. Hold on. You know we have to find that out before the... Okay, hold on. What page was it on? Oh, man, guys. I don't know. If you remember, write it in the comment. So she got a bouquet of roses from Phil. And if we might now be able, obviously, to confirm, it looks like Vera and Wilfred are together. Aunt Vimia, a bouquet of roses. Mrs. Cogswell, silver earrings. Ida, earrings. She received from something in Mabel $1. She got a handkerchief from Mrs. Dudley, or Miss Dudley. Wow, I think it was her birthday. But it doesn't, there's no T's in there, but maybe she wrote my, I don't know. But I'm sure it was her birthday, so May 26th. Because why would she be getting all the presents if it wasn't her birthday? All right, guys, we only have, it's the 27th, so we don't have much longer. Very, very fine. Oh, happy birthday, Moinetta. Okay, very, very fine. Mrs. Fraser has gone away for the day with the Frasers. Okay, so there's 2 pairs of Frasers, so one is senior, one is junior, possibly. Phil better and went to work in the afternoon. So either Phil is her son or Phil is her husband. In the evening, Mrs. Fraser and I went up to high school to nurses' graduation. 26 girls and 2, I don't know, RD something. Huh. Wilfred McElman's birthday. Verna and Lab or Tab. Okay, so we have Verna and Varna. Okay, Verna and Tab were invited by then to go to Dunham's for dinner in honor of its birthday. Some things we may never know. Okay, the 28th, fine. Went out to store in the afternoon and got a shad. Oh, that's right, it's a fish. And some groceries. Mrs. Fraser went downtown in the morning. Miss Hurstman in on way to prayer meeting. They all went but me. Letter and card from Francis. Letter and card from Gary. Several cards. Aw. She's just been, like, the month of May has been crazy for her. And the people that she knows. May 29th. Fine. We went to the 4th annual closing exercise of the Bible school held in our church, Highfield, afternoon and evening. Something at school in the morning, rhetoric one of the graduates from the high school. Very nice. 7 students, and you cannot read the rest of it. On our way home, 5 p.m., heard the ambulance. Mrs. Budd had been struck by a bus. She was 70 years old. She didn't make it. Oh, poor lady. That's really, really sad and disturbing and traumatic. Oh my goodness. Sadie was up for a while. Ray came home. Letter from Jensen. She had infected hat. I'm not sure. Nope, she had an infected hand. Okay. Wow. Really sad. And you know what? We have the Mrs. Budd. That's with 2 D's. So it's possible, and she was 70, it's possible we might be able to find something, some information, a little bit more information about her and who she was. But that was rough. Okay, May 30th. Kind of dull, still cold. Shower in the evening. About 7 p.m., Mrs. Eddie Frazier for Andrew and Joe something arrived for a few days. Mrs. Hurstman was down. I think it says Hurstman, I'm not sure. So she has visitors, they have visitors. All right, guys, we have made it to the last day of the month. Let us check it out. And I thank you now ahead of time for watching this May part 2. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And if you're interested in my store, Yield Treasure Hounds, you can just click on the link in the description. It'll take you right there. I really appreciate you checking it out. And thank you. So let's read the last day. Fine in the morning, dull in the afternoon. We all went to church. Had ride home with Mr. Davies and Mrs. H in to dinner. They all went to S&S in the afternoon. About 8 a.m., Mr. L. house was about 8 a.m., Mr. L. Lowen's house was burned. Something street. 2 children passed. Mrs. Earl Dernier passed away. Oh my goodness. Oh no, so much tragedy. Wow. I hate to leave us on a downer. Okay, well, we are going to leave it at that. And I hope you tune in for the May Roundup, because it should be a good one. There's plenty of things for me to look up. And I thank you so much. Let's close it up. Okay, let me see if I can do it here. Yay! All right, guys, thank you so much. Bye.